Live from the Las Vegas studio in Southwest Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm Brad Stein. Welcome to Bettor Center Live. You can watch us daily, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have 3 pro handicappers in segment 1, 3 in segment 2. We split it off, and they're here to make us money. Today, we have some college football, NBA playoffs, and of course, NFL and Major League Baseball. Plus, a little bit later, our handicappers will give their most interesting play of the day. Our first 3 handicappers are ready to make their appearance. The first one goes by the name of Louie D, also Loule Diamond, Louie Bag of Diamonds. We have the Great White Capper, Tony Gulledge, and Del Warfield, all 3 of us joining back. Congratulations and welcome.
Hey, good morning, Brad.
So what happened, guys, yesterday on your most interesting play of the day? Let's start with Louie D. How did you do?
I could do a little better. I can do a little better. So I believe. Wait a second. I don't remember if I gave out the winner or a loser because I did have a loser in a big play in baseball. So, but I did have a big winner. So I had the Clinder, which was a winner.
All right, I know, Del, you weren't with us, but you were, Tony. How did you do? Because you were red hot with that hair.
Yeah, we cashed it again. Yeah, other than the hair being very red, we did cash the play. I had Philadelphia as the most interesting play. They sprinted out to a big 6-0 lead. Mets took the lead 7-6. It's just a crazy finish. Basically a home run, cap off another winner. So we just keep winning, pile up another win. Good price. Philadelphia cashed 9-8 in extra innings against the Mets yesterday.
Good job. All right, let's start with the NBA, guys. Del, welcome back to the show. I know you weren't here yesterday, but you're here now. That's all that counts. NBA tonight, game 1, we have the Heat -2 at the Bucks, and the 217 is the over-under. Del, are you playing?
How you doing, Brad? So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be touching the Heat again today. By some miracle, Bucks were able to pull it off without Giannis in the second half. I think that today is going to be the closeout game. I definitely am going to be taking the Heat at -2. You're just basically picking them to win at that point. Definitely taking the Heat -2 today.
I think you said the Toronto Raptors over the Celtics yesterday. But today,
yeah, I lost the Raptors game, did hit the Denver game with the points. Denver covered. For today, I want to know where you getting -2 at, because I bet this game a couple hours ago got 2.5. Last time I looked, it's up to Miami -4. So if you can find somebody with Miami -2, let me know. I think this series should be over. Chris Middleton had a hot stretch. It kept the Bucks alive in this series. I think it's just inevitable. No teams ever came back from a 3-0 deficit in the NBA. I don't think this series is going to be the first one. So basically, you have a situation where you're just waiting for this series to end. I think tonight's just as good a night as any. Miami gets this done. Milwaukee's a beaten team, and tonight the series will be over.
Can't disagree with that. Is Louie here?
I'm here. I don't know if I lost you, but I don't know if you can hear me. Here I am. Hey,
I could
guys.
Now. Hey,
right.
He's back. All right, Louie D.
All right. Anybody know how I did? All right. How we doing?
Wonderful.
We talking about
NBA, Lou. Miami Heat.
Game number 1. Yeah,
NBA. We got the Heat and the Bucks, and the only thing I can really say on this is how you. I don't see how you can really go against the Heat and the Rayo.
Lou needs to upgrade his internet service.
or the internet service has to upgrade Louie. One of the two.
Okay, one or the other. Okay.
Yeah, let's go to game number 2. The Lakers, it opened up, Tony, at -5 at the Rockets. 225.5 is the over-under. What do you like in this game?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Similar situation. I think the Lakers going to win this series. I will say that number makes it interesting. You know, that anytime in the NBA you go between 4 and 7, for me as a handicapper, I break down these games into handicapping segments as far as the spread. So up to 4 and over 7. So that gap between 4 and 7, I've always found to be one of the more difficult to each point in that range is more important than points in the range above it. I know that's kind of a mosh pit of complication, But what it ends up being is these games are the toughest to decide with that spread. With that being said, I have to go to my gut, and my gut says take the
Del,
Lakers here.
what are your thoughts?
Just on the principle that I think they win the series. So you lay the points, take the Lakers. Not my best play tonight. I like Miami more, but I do also like the Lakers tonight.
All right, so for this game, for the Rockets and Lakers, I'm going back to the Rockets as well. And the reason being I'm going to the Rockets is that this line opened up at plus 5.5 for them, dropped down to 5 with a reverse line movement. So with that being said, 60% of the bets are actually on the Lakers today, 40% on the Rockets. That line moving down from 5.5 to 5 now is a really good tell for me. Even the money line from minus 260 for the Lakers down to 213 off of only a half-point move. This is really telling that this is going to be a better play for the Rockets, in my opinion. So I'm liking the Rockets today. I'm taking the points plus 5.
All right, Tony, let's go to college football. There's a bunch of games. If you don't have a play, that's okay. In game number 3, we have Syracuse. Over under is 65.5 at North Carolina, minus 22 North Carolina. You playing?
Okay. I'm a North Carolina graduate. The only tattoo on my body is a Tar Heel right there. That's it. All right. So when you talk about North Carolina sports, I know a little bit about it, whether it be mostly basketball, but a little bit about the football. The only thing I can tell you about this game right now is North Carolina minus 22 looks absurd. I don't think their football team should be laying, unless it's like William and Mary, like, Gardner Webb, but not an established FBS school like Syracuse. I think even Syracuse upset them with North Carolina as a favorite. My gut right off the top would be to take Syracuse here, but I'm not ready to fire off on anything yet for Saturday.
Louis Bag of Diamonds, you're back. What are your thoughts?
Okay, I'll see how long that lasts. Listen, I just have a little bit of flashback on this game. It's early on to have a prediction. So what I do in the beginning of the week is I'm looking at the stats, I'm looking at trends, so I can try to marry it to the quotes and the game plan, and that's what I'll usually do. So right now I'm seeing some things that, that game, North Carolina was supposed to go in and dominate Syracuse the last time that they played. The line opened up at 7, shot up to 10. I was all over it. North Carolina did not show up. Now they got them coming home, so there might be a little bit of revenge there. It is a large number, but I'll probably be thinking that the over may be a play as the Tar Heels start out over November and conference 10 and 4, 13 to the over, 4 straight overs. So I'll be looking for a little bit of an over and maybe see if I can lay the 22. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. We'll find out later in the week. Del Warfield, you're up.
Yes, sir. So for this Syracuse versus North Carolina game, I think it's going to be a really good game to watch. DeVito's coming back for Syracuse. Howe's coming back for North Carolina. I'm not really looking at a side for this one. That was a little bit too high, like Tony said. Doesn't make sense for a spread to be that high against an established team like Syracuse. But what I am kind of looking for is going to be the over-under. It's really hard to kind of, for your first game, to kind of, base off of stats or trends because it's a completely new season, So, but what I am looking at is the coaching tendencies. Syracuse plays at a really high pace. I like this game going over. You said it was at 65.5. I saw it today at 63. So I'm not going to be betting it yet. I'm going to be holding off. Hopefully I get a lower number to bet that over. But for right now, I'm staying away, but I am liking that over probably later in the week.
All right, guys, it doesn't get much easier with game number 4, Louisiana Tech at Baylor, 18.5. That's the spread, and the over-under opened up at 57. We'll stay with you, Del. Any thoughts on this one, or are we in the same situation?
This one's actually a play that I actually do love already. I'm probably going to be posting it already, even though it's a little bit in advance. But I love Baylor here at minus 18.5. This line opened up at 17.5 for Baylor. 65% of the bets are actually on Louisiana Tech right now, and that line is going up. Baylor's they got their starting QB coming back, their fifth year. Sorry, not their fifth year, but they're both seniors, right? Their quarterback and running back all their firepower's coming back. I really like this spread, 18.5, going against the reverse line movement. It seems like a really good.
All right, we better go to Louis D before we lose him again. What do you like with this college football game?
Well, out of the gate, it's really tough to like much of anything. I like what Dell's saying right now, giving a little lean towards Baylor. It seems like the favorite may be the play, but the under has been a winner for Louisiana Tech games in their last 12 road games. So a team that usually I'll give you something. Louisiana Tech second half over is usually money. You don't just bet it over in the second half, but here we got them under 10-2 the last 12 road games. So I don't have much of a lean towards anything. I'll probably give a little bit of a lean towards what Dell has to say. Tony
Gulledge, agree, disagree? What do you think? What Dell said?
Why do I have to be the contrarian all the time? I kind of just I have to be honest, I haven't checked all the things I normally would check before I make a play. Especially early in the season, I like to check returning starters. A couple things I haven't been able to check yet. But just from my memory banks, a team like Louisiana Tech seems like they've won a few stray road games as an underdog. And even if they didn't win, they put up a lot of points and they covered some spreads. So right off the bat, I would be wary of this 18. That seems like a lot of points to give a team that I know traditionally can score and has given teams trouble in these non-conference road situations. Basically, they're drawing a paycheck to come in and get beat, but sometimes those teams just don't lay down like they're supposed to. I think this might be one of those. Dale seems to know a bit about it, but for right now, I'm not going to make an opinion other than be careful.
All right, Great White Capper, we're going to stay with you. We're going to move to game number 6, Duke at Notre Dame. Notre Dame minus 20 over under. Started at 56.
Okay, first gut instinct, always fade Notre Dame. This is like the Yankees, the Cowboys. I mean, you can go through the franchises of different sports that people just bet. This has been going on since I was in college in the late 80s. People just bet Notre Dame games, don't matter what the spread is. Oh, Golden Domers today, man. You know, I've heard this my whole life. So first gut instinct is to fade this, take the Duke. But I want to go look and see if Duke, what they have going on. 20 points Notre Dame. It depends on a lot of elements, but my first gut is that's too many points. Opinion early, Duke, but wait for me to make a final call later in the week.
Diamond, do you have anything for us?
Tony says you're always looking for a reason to fade Notre Dame because they're always overpriced. And I will always start my look there. But they have covered their last 5 games last year, so they weren't overpriced in those matchups. I usually try to favor a little bit to the over on Notre Dame, but towards the end of the season, they definitely went under, but they were an over team. It's really kind of a tough matchup, but usually Duke, I'm all in favor of riding them over throughout the season anytime I can. So I'm always looking for a Duke game over. So I'm going to look for that here and possibly move on that coming this week.
Okay, Warfield, you agree, disagree, have anything new to add?
Not really for me. Like I said, same thing like these guys do. I love fading those, public darling teams. Too much points. I don't really know anything about Duke yet either, so I'm staying away from the spread. I don't really see how Duke's going to be scoring too much points here. That Notre Dame defense is probably going to be pretty good this year. I'm touching a side, not touching a total. Just kind of staying away from this one.
All right, guys, let's go to the NFL. I know it's Tuesday. Lines are out, though. Let's see if you have any thoughts. Game number 8, Loule Diamond. We're going to stay with you. The Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots, minus 6.5, over under, came in at 43. What are your thoughts?
I definitely have some thoughts on the game, but I'm going to save that for the next segment with Ross because Ross and I are a couple of Buffalo guys, and we're going to go at it on this game and the AFC East a little bit. So stick around for that. Let's see what these guys have to say.
You heard him, Tony. What do you have to say?
Wow. New England against Miami, traditional AFC East battle, right? Dolphins basically got that win late last year, right? That knocked New England into a bad playoff position. So they almost like a little demon. Now, how's New England going to react here? Total change at the helm. Brady's gone. Bring in Cam Newton. God, I got a sneaking suspicion Cam Newton's going to have a good year. Man, it's just I got a gut feeling that they're going to find a way to make him work with this offense, and they're going to have a good year. With that being said, 6.5 right off the bat. You almost have to rely on your gut instincts here. That's a great number. I'm gonna give Vegas credit here because I've got it. I make my own lines, and my line here is 6. So you can see that they're not. It's really I'm not seeing any value. So to make an opinion here, it's probably going to be to give it to the home side, New England. Although that's a trepidatious opinion at this point. Should be a good game though. I'm expecting a good game coming out of Foxborough.
Dell. Cam Newton is getting props and getting a lot of good feedback from Bill Belichick. Didn't give much to Tom Brady. Is this a good thing, bad thing? Do you like this game?
Yeah, so I definitely agree there with Tony. That 6.5 line being under that key number of 7 is just a little bit scary for me. But if I'm going to be betting it, I will be riding with the Patriots too. Belichick, you figure he's going to play to his strength, which is going to be his defense. I think Cam Newton's going to be a much I don't want to say better fit, but because it's Tom Brady. I think he's going to fit this new system for Belichick amazingly. So I'm really going to be a big fan of Cam Newton this year too. So I'll be riding with the Patriots minus 6.5 if I had to choose. But right now, I'm staying away at the moment.
All right, thanks, Dell. Let's go real quick. We're going to do the most interesting play of the day. We're going to stay with you, Dell, real quick. What do you have for us?
So for my most interesting play of the day today, I'm going to be going with the Blue Jays money line. They're at minus 114 in baseball. Blue Jays are hot right now. They're 9-4 last 13 games. Yankees are struggling. They're 5-14 their last 19. Just kind of, fading the cold teams, riding the hot teams. The fact that the Blue Jays are coming in as a favorite in this game is a really good sign. Hap's been having control issues. Yankees are dealing with injuries. I think this is overall my favorite play today is going to be the Blue Jays hitting that minus 114.
Tony Gulledge, let's see if you could do this real quick. Your most interesting play of the day.
All right, just tell Dale I like his play. They are on my card. For me, try to keep this win streak going. I'm going to take Houston here in game 1. Greinke, 2.51 ERA, 9 whip, 8 starts. He's only given up 2 home runs. He keeps the ball in the park. Pitcher for the Oakland is basically the reason I'm making this play. It's a heavy fade on this guy. In his last 3 starts, he's only pitched 10 innings, given up 18 earned runs, about a 16 and change ERA. They had this exact same pitching matchup on August 29th. Greinke, Montas. Greinke got the best of it, 6-3 final. Looking for an exact repeat to that today at minus 117. You're getting a bargain on an established pitching matchup that we've already seen what happened. Houston, Greinke, game 1, 7-inning sprint, which plays into this as well because Greinke's been going at least that 6 innings every game. So you're not going to need much from the bullpen. Houston, most interesting play. I think you're going to get a winner if you back it.
Thank you. That leaves Louis Bag of Diamonds. Most interesting play of the day is?
I'll tell you what, it's tough to follow Tony G. The man is on fire, and I went up heads up against him yesterday. I got crushed, lambasted, embarrassed, and I'm going to have to come out with the strong today. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you 2 of them. I'm going to give you 2 of them in a doubleheader. So as you know, I've been riding the Minnesota Twins on the under at home. And they're overall an under team, so they are playing to the under overall. So even on the road, they're doing it. And now they're facing St. Louis, who is actually a little bit on an over trend. So it's not a huge play, but it's definitely interesting. And Cardinals have been under on grass in their last 5 games. Carlos Martinez on the mound. He did get hit a little hard last time, first outing in a couple years. So hopefully he settles down. I like the under more in the second game, though, in the doubleheader. So a little bit of an edge on the second game to the under. But both of them to the under should cash, I think.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Coming up next, Tony C., the man on the street. He's in San Francisco. Why? Where exactly? We'll find out next. Plus, new handicappers are going to join Bettor Center Live. That's Ross and Chip. Thank you for watching Bettor Center Live. Brad Stein here live from Las Vegas. Join us daily for Bettor Center Live with our professional handicappers, where you get sports information you can bet on. Stop gambling, start winning. Bettor Center Live.
Tony C. here, your man on the street, Santa Clara, California, Levi Stadium, home of the San Francisco 49ers. Well, I tell you, these fans, they can't wait for football season. 3 weeks away. Wave at the camera, girls. San Francisco 40. Are you 49ers fans? They're big-time 49ers fans. These fans love it. They were this close from a Super Bowl win last year. I mean, these fans, they can't wait to get into this stadium and watch San Francisco 49er football. Week 1 opponent in 2020 for the 49ers is a division rival, the Arizona Cardinals. And let me tell you something, Brad. As you well know, the 49ers are coming in heavy favorites. They're already -7 coming into the game. And this is the early lines. Remember, we still got a couple of weeks out. I see this line keep going 8, maybe even to 9, because we don't have all the I's dotted and T's crossed before week 1. But coming into this season, I mean, and going back to last season, Brad, the 49ers, did they overachieve? I mean, how are they going to what are they going to do for an encore here? I mean, this is a very good team on both sides of the ball. They're bringing back 18 of 22 players from last season on defense and offense. So they're a well-oiled machine. I believe they're ready to play. Probably it's going to be tough to be conference champs again and go to the Super Bowl. Very tough, to make it 2 years in a row. But they're right up there with the best of them, and they're going to be in the thick of things come January. What do you think, Brad? Your thoughts on the 49ers week 1?
Welcome back to Bettor Center Live. You can watch us on LouisDiamond.com. Also, check out YouTube at Louis Diamond. We're going to welcome our 2 new handicappers, plus 1, because Louis Diamond's going to stay with us, give us some more picks. Welcome, Ross Benjamin and Chip Chirimbes.
How are you, Brad?
Never better.
Good to see you again, Brad.
Good to see you.
Good morning, gentlemen.
All right, let's do this. Let's start with game number 1. Since it looks like we just have you, Chip, but that's okay. You and I can run through this, and when someone else joins us, they join us. I don't know what you have picks, but if you're interested in game number 1, NBA, we have the Heat -2 at the Bucks. That's tonight, and 217's the over/under. Anything interesting?
Well, the fact that the Heat are favored is interesting to me. I just can't seem to fathom the number 1 seed being an underdog, but of course they are down 3-1. Was lucky with the Bucks the last time out. They pulled it out in overtime. Giannis is complaining about a bad ankle, but I'm in a position here where a good friend of mine once said in a playoff situation like this, you can only get beat once if you take an underdog that's facing elimination. And I'm going to stick with Milwaukee here, even though Miami looks like they're a stronger play. And the line is indicating, with Miami favored, that Las Vegas thinks they've got the best of it. And you said the line was 2, and I thought I saw it much higher. But I think Milwaukee is the side. Well, will be for me anyway. All
right, Ross. Are the Bucks toast, or are they going to stay a little bit longer?
This is tough game to call. I mean, Chip is right. The line went up to 4, where Miami's a favorite. That tells me, A, either Giannis is not going to play, or B, the books don't believe he's going to be anywhere near 100% in this game. So, again, the Bucks facing elimination, coming off an overtime win. Very tough call for me. This is a game I'm going to steer clear of for the reasons I just alluded to.
But you're not going to stay clear of game number 2. The Lakers, it opened at -5. At the Rockets, 225.5 is the over/under. Ross Benjamin, how about this game?
I think Houston matches up pretty good in this series. I was thinking the Lakers were a prohibited favorite, and rightfully so going in. But the more I look at this matchup, Houston, with their speed, is giving the Lakers' length a lot of trouble. I mean, the Lakers did cover the last game, but Houston was covering much of that game. I think we're going to see a little bit of a zigzag theory here. And I think Houston, if they don't get the straight-up win tonight, I like them to get the cover. So I'm going to take the points here with the Houston Rockets over the LA Lakers.
All right, Chip.
I see it the same way Ross does. And, this Houston team has actually got the best of the Lakers. Coming into the last time out, they had won 24-10 against the number, so they're 24-11 in the last 35 meetings. And, Houston still is young, and they've got a lot of spring in their legs. I'd have to take the Rockets here. I really do. Maybe I have a bad sentiment and attitude toward the Lakers because they were one of the teams that voted not to continue in the playoffs, but they canceled the the rest of the season. So I'm a little ticked off at them that they don't want to work for a living. I'm going to take Houston here.
All right, that's a good reason, but Houston does match up pretty well. We'll see if the Lakers go more small ball, especially with JaVale McGee questionable tonight. Let's go to college football, game number 3, Syracuse at North Carolina. It opened North Carolina minus 22, 65.5. The over-under, I'm pretty sure that changed. Chip, will stay with you. Do you like this game?
Not at all. I usually don't get involved with 3 touchdown games one way or another unless it's absolutely necessary during the bowls, because what advantage do we have as handicappers? If we give someone a 21-point favorite, they can say, oh, I could have done that. And if we give them the underdog and they get beat 42-0, we look like idiots. I pretty much avoid these games. But I heard you guys speaking earlier, and I think you're absolutely right. This is a huge number to be giving a school that we assume is a quality club. And we're talking about Syracuse, who's played nationally at a national level before. And now I guess they're really going to pot, so to speak. But I really can't see how anyone would lay the points. And yet I don't want Syracuse because these points are so intimidating. I'm thinking there's really something wrong with this Orange program right now.
Ross, do you agree or disagree?
I'm smiling because now I know that Chip doesn't play on teams that don't want to work for a living and teams that he could play for. So this is the key thing going forward. Anyway, I had to add that, Chip. All in fun, buddy.
It's fine. We're all having a good time here.
Yeah, you know what? This looks like a trap to me because why is North Carolina such a big favorite? And for all the reasons these guys are saying, it seems like too big of a number. I'm going to stay away from the side because I think they're begging you to take Syracuse here. And being close to the situation, I'm about 90 miles east of Syracuse University. I could see why, this kid Howell for North Carolina is a hell of a quarterback. Here's what I'm going to lean toward, guys. I'm going to lean toward this being an entertaining, high-scoring affair. I'm not willing to definitively jump in just yet. But my small lean right now, we're looking at a number of 65 on the total. Syracuse only 4 returning starters on defense, a new defensive scheme with a new defensive coordinator. North Carolina, a team that rang up a lot of points a season ago. And Dino Babers, as we know as Syracuse fans here, know that he likes to play that high-tempo, quick-paced offense. I think we might see an entertaining, high-scoring affair here.
What do you think of the 49ers? Are your money going to go there early, or are you going to wait? Are they going to have like a Super Bowl loss hangover? Well, let's start with Ross.
Yeah, I mean, historically, teams that lose in the Super Bowl struggle the following year, especially early in the process. Arizona is going to be much improved this year, so that looks like a dangerous number for me early on. Look, San Fran is going to be a playoff team in my estimation, but to expect them to have, what were they, 14-2 last season, if I'm not mistaken, to expect them to have the kind of regular season they did a season ago, I think is a stretch. So, again, I highly doubt they're going to get back to the Super Bowl for the reasons I just touched upon, but I still think they're a playoff team at the end of the season.
Chip Chirimbes, what do you think about the 49ers?
I think they're disgusting. I think the last 6 minutes of the Super Bowl was absolutely terrible. And, this is a big number for them to be hung game 1 against Arizona. I think that early action actually has been favoring the Cardinals here. People are looking for, I guess, Murray to have a better sophomore season than he did last year. And I haven't really worked on this game at all. I know Garoppolo's the key. He was very disappointing in the second half of the Super Bowl. As you know, this 49er team was 5.5 minutes away from being the Super Bowl champions. And instead, like Ross said, when you come in as a Super Bowl loser, your season has already started with a little tarnished mark on it. And your attitude toward it is, we're going to go through this whole thing all over again. And I don't know if the Niners' attitude is right coming into this. I think it's an awful large points, and I'm afraid to take Arizona now. I think I have the rest of the week to evaluate what's going to happen with the newsletters and the public and the wise guys. There's a lot of NFL information that as handicappers, before we give a play, we don't give just only our own opinion, I believe. We take all the information that we can gather from experts, from the novices, and from newsletters and newspapers, and put it all together. So I'll be waiting on this game, and I don't even know if I'll be making a selection on it. It didn't catch my eye early when I took a look at the schedule, but we'll have to wait and see, because things do happen during the week.
An overthrown pass away from possibly winning the Super Bowl, now possibly a hangover. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting. Let's just stay with the NFL real quick. Dolphins at Patriots. It opened up -6.5 New England, and the over-under was 43. Chip, any thoughts? Are we still waiting to see what new information comes out?
Of course, I'm not going to be releasing any NFL games until later in the week, because, like I said, the information is vital. We have major contests out here in Las Vegas where we have the best of the best competing, and I'd like to see where they gravitate toward. But in this series, I can tell you that the Dolphins always give the Patriots a problem when they're playing in Miami. Now, we have Fitzgerald's going to be starting for Miami here, and the Dolphins, of course, New England is going to be coming with Cam Newton. It was funny. You mentioned that he had been getting the praises of Belichick, who never said much about Brady when he was quarterbacking. But so I'm wondering, with 9 players that have taken voluntary leave this year from the Patriots that are not going to be playing, how it's going to affect them. This Miami team, I think they're poorly coached, number one, and I don't know if they're going to be ready on the road. New England, you can say, may have a bit of revenge on the mind for the way the Dolphins knocked them out of the top spot in the playoffs with a bye last year and put them in a difficult position. But I just it's all on Cam Newton right now. Is he ready? Yeah. Is he healthy? Can he play? And for the last 2-3 years, he's really been a shadow. And if he is healthy, can he throw? Accuracy was always one of the questions when he was under center, as it was. So running was his biggest attribute, and if he doesn't have that, it's like a sprinter with a bad ankle.
Oh, Ross, are you ready to play NFL? Pats and Dolphins?
Yes, I am. Well, look, I'm going to give my opinion. I like Chipper. And look, we're living in a COVID-19 era right now, so getting down early on these games in college football and NFL is no longer an advantage like it used to be. I discussed that before. Who knows? What happens if Cam Newton tests positive the day of the game for COVID-19? Now, that's the risk we have to take. We're handicapping in a whole different age that we've never had to encounter before. Having said all that, I disagree with my buddy Chip. For one time, it's a very rare opportunity that I do disagree with my buddy, but this is one of them. Okay. Miami is well coached. And I'll tell you why. Brian Flores, I got to give him a lot of credit. Miami started out 0-7 last year and was getting crushed in every game. And they did not quit on Brian Flores. As a matter of fact, they went 5-4 down the stretch. To me, that shows that the players like this guy as a head coach. And they showed a lot of character and resiliency under him, and I think speaks volumes for me. So that's my opinion on their head coach. Secondly, I do agree with Chip that you got 8 or 9 guys that have opted out for New England. Yes, Cam Newton is a great pickup. However, this guy played only 2 games last year because of injury. I don't think he's been the same quarterback since they went to the Super Bowl. I think that there's going to be a transition period offensively. I think this team will get better as the season goes along offensively, but there's still at wide receiver a lot of question marks. And Miami, to me, this is a team that improved as the year went on, as I touched upon. Right now, if you put the proverbial gun to my head, I would take the points here. Right now, it's 6.5. And again, it's a key number. I would buy it up to 7, but that's just right now. I don't know if I would definitely am not going to take New England in this game. If anything, I would stay away or take Miami.
Most interesting play of the day. I can just take a guess, Chip. You are not betting on the Lakers. Definitely not. But what is your most interesting play of the day?
I'm going to repeat on a matchup that I had yesterday when I had the Toronto and the Yankees, and I had the Blue Jays as a winner. But this time I'm going to come against Tony and some of you guys. I'm going to take the Yankees. But by the way, Ross, I want to let you know I misspoke. When I was thinking of Miami weak coaching, I was actually thinking of Gase and the Jets. And so now Flores did do a great job with the Dolphins last year, but today's most interesting play is going to be on the Yankees. And here's a team that I pounded yesterday against them, and they were up by 6 runs in a game, and all of a sudden they get killed. 14, 12-1, whatever the final was, 12-6. I'm going to take the Yankees to bounce back today. I think when teams get beat that badly, they're a little bit more centered the next time out. AJ Happ, he's going against former teammates in Toronto, and the game's being played in Buffalo. So I'll take the New York Yankees as my most interesting play because of all the various factors.
Being a Yankees fan, that's very interesting. Yep. Now, can you tell us how we can get in touch with you if we need some help?
Well, thank you for that, Brad. 2-1 yesterday in Major League Baseball, and now currently on a 9-2 streak. Each day on chipwins.com, I'll post a trio of Major League Baseball plays. Today in NBA, of course, I have my Megabuck play, which is my single strongest play, and the second play out there as well. You got them all here free right now, except for the baseball, and the baseball's going great guns. So don't be afraid to log on to Chip Wins and follow the buy links. And good luck, everyone.
Okay, that leaves you, Mr. Ross Benjamin. What is your most interesting play of the day?
All right, so I got to blow my own horn here. Yesterday, another winner with the Giants and Diamondbacks under 7.5 or 8, whatever you got it at. The bottom line, 4-2 final score. That's 3 most interesting games of the day, winners in a row. Let's make it 4 today. I'm going to use a whole different approach here today. The Kansas City Royals at the Cleveland Indians. I'm not one to give out a big money line favorite, so I'm going to lean toward the run line here. Look, you got Tristan McKenzie making the start for Cleveland. Not a household name, but people better wake up to the fact 3-0 so far in his Major League Baseball rookie year with a tremendous ERA of under 2, and he's going to be supported by if not the best bullpen in the American League, one of the best. And he's going to be going up against a Kansas City team that's lost 7 straight. They've also scored like 3 runs or less in 7 of their last 9 games. So they can't hit their way out of a paper bag right now. And you know what? Here's an interesting. I'm not a big trends guy, but once in a while something sticks out to me. The Kansas City Royals right now averaging 3.8 runs per game on the season, which is terrible by Major League Baseball standards. The Cleveland Indians, since the start of last year, when facing an American League team that averages 3.9 runs or less per game, are 24-1. I can't ignore that. And 21 of those 25 games, they won by 2 runs or more. I'm going to lay the run and a half here on the run line and take the Cleveland Indians -1.5 at reasonable odds of -110 over the struggling Kansas City Royals.
And how can we borrow your knowledge? How can we get in touch with you?
You can borrow my knowledge by going to rossbenjaminsports.com or rbwins.com. I never heard it put like that, Brad. That's pretty unique. And there you can find my picks that are up daily. You also can get some subscription plans. I got my NFL annual package up right now for $750. Also, 7-day for $149, 30-day for $499. That includes every pick I put out on a daily basis. And I give you my personal guarantee, Brad, that if you're not making a profit at the end of one of my subscription plans, I will extend your subscription until you do. Doesn't get any better than that. Shows my confidence in winning for you over the long haul.
Here's my guarantee to all of you. Thank you, Louis D, Tony G, Chip, Dell, and Ross, all of you, and a special thanks to Eugene, our producer and director. And we'll see you next time at Bettor Center Live. Remember, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you don't play, you won't win. I'm Brad, Bettor Center Live.